Happy Wednesday, all. It's been a while. I haven't been doing these as much. I have to. It's been getting busy with soccer and stuff like that, but we should be good next few weeks. So I've had a lot of people asking me to do some pricing again. So I want to do another pricing video, just kind of go over um, how I price markets a couple different ways. I'm going to show you guys a free way. I'm going to show you guys Land Insights way, just to kind of get it out there because there are multiple ways. I'm just trying to adjust my camera. There are multiple ways to do it, and I feel it's important to know everything so you kind of can understand why we do certain things certain ways and all that jazz. So what I'll do is I'm going to show you guys quickly the like a free way to do this, pull some data, Redfin, all that stuff. And if we're going to find a market, I'm going to show you Land Insights. Obviously, it makes this 1,000 times easier, and I don't think you should ever skip this step. But sometimes you have to get your first deal. So I understand that. So what I'm going to do is show you like a real quick path to maybe find a market that's free, and then pull data and then price it. So we'll dive right in. Not going to really get into too much, but here we go. Let me just do this. All right, so here we are. So Land Insights, this is Land Insights. We all know what Land Insights looks like. So if I were to look for a market here, it's actually very, very simple to do it on Land Insights. Now, you just put in your parameters, you do all that stuff. So I'll show you guys that in a little bit. But for now, cool thing is you could even price at Land Insights now, so which is even awesomer. We're going to use two things, Redfin and Zillow. The reason why I use Zillow for this is the free phase if I'm looking to get like free markets. The reason why I'm looking at Zillow is because when I go on Zillow, I could look at the whole state and actually take the state off or remove the boundary and look at everything, right? So let's just do this. So I'm going to take off, let me just reset all filters. Okay, I'm going to reset all my filters here. So what I'm looking at for now, I just put Oklahoma in just to get into this map. Now, what I did here is I could look at everything. I could look at where the pockets of activity are all over the country, right? So I want to deselect all. I just want to go land, right? Now I'm going to put in a couple parameters. As a basic market, I want to look at my solds. I want to see what's actually sold recently. I'm going to put some price parameters in here. Actually, I'm going to do 75,000 to 200K, just because that's like your best land flip markets to kind of really be in if you're just looking to do a straight flip. Buying for 75, you would buy something for like around 40K, 40K, 35K, something like that. And then you sell for about 75, or you buy here, buy about 100, 125 and sell for 200. You're in the money in both these spots. So you're profitable in those two spots. So that's why I want to look there. Home type, we got land. Let's look at just lot size. Let's go 5 acres plus. All right. So I just want to see, where are there pockets of activity? Where is land selling for, right? We could zoom in. More stuff's going to show up when you zoom in. You can see there's a bunch of like pockets of hotspots, right? Let me do this. I need to do this. I'm going to go sold in the last, let's do 90 days. 90 days of activity is good. So you can see like, obviously there's tons of like activity. If I zoom out fully, it gets sparse, right? You don't really see everything, right? Once you start zooming in, you start seeing more and more. And then, you zoom in a little further and you're like, okay, there's more activity in Kentucky here. Let me zoom in further. All right, even more. Okay, but there's more activity up here. There's lots of activity over here, lots of activity. Look right here. There's tons of activity right here. So what this does is it allows you to kind of zoom around. You can find a market like this. This is how I used to do it. This is how I used to like do it. But then, it takes a lot of time because now I got to go through. I got to figure out my sell-through rates, myself, everything like that. But look at all this right here. This must have been a subdivide. You could tell that just because of the clustering and the pricing and all that stuff. Definitely a subdivide. But this is how I could find good counties, good markets, things like that, right? Let's just say I wanted to just do North Carolina. Come in here, I'd look for activities. I'd go, let's look at 30-day. Let's drop it down to 30. Okay, where's some activity? All right, there's more activity over here. There's some over here along this right here. And then I could go, I could change my parameters. Like I could go, let's go back 12 months, see where it grows to. Okay, so there's more, still a lot of activity right here. Let me zoom in a little further. It just gives you like a good pinpoint, right, of kind of where to go. Right here. There's a bunch of stuff. And then if you open, actually, you could do this. You could open. Let's see. Let's see. Let's go to for sales. So what you could do is you could open a second window if you wanted and compare the two. So let's just go here. I could do this. And let's go solds. Now I could just compare, okay, what's going on here? Where's my activity here? It's the same exact spot. What's my activity here? Same spot. And I could compare and contrast, right? Now, that's the free way to do it. Takes a lot of time. You're going to sit here, you're going to try to do this and like that. You got to go through each market. You got to comb through the data, blah, blah, blah. So it's a lot of work, right? Redfin you could do too. Redfin is more like I can't really zoom out and do that stuff. That's why I don't like using Redfin necessarily for that. I do pull my data, my sold data from Redfin now. Now, easy way, right? I could just go into here. I could just go county. Let's switch to county. And I just want to look for some activity. So let's just say I want to see activity greater than or equal to 15. Oops. Greater than or equal to at least 15. Apply. Actually, let me change. Yeah, I did 5 to 100 acres. I want to see six-month sell-through rate greater than or equal to. We'll just put it at 60 for now. At least 60% sell-through rate in the 6 months, right? So here we go. I just made my life a lot easier, right? So now I just found all these markets, right? Yellow being, let's change this to let's see, 6 months sell-through rate. Okay, Surrey County, North Carolina. We got Davidson County, North Carolina. We got Person County, North Carolina. We got Hampshire, West Virginia. We got Ross County, Ohio. We got Laurie, Kentucky, LaRue, Kentucky. So we got tons of markets now because of that. Now, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and let's check out Person County. Now I want to see, I'll go into here. I'm going to do Person County. Cheers. All right, let's go land. Let's see what we got over here in good old Person. So we can see for sales, under contracts, something like that. Let's go filters. Let's change a couple things. Let's do lot size, 5 acre minimum. And let's do okay. So I got 38 homes for sale. You can see these are all my Person County parcels. Good pricings, 350s, 239s. I love to see that. That's what I like to see. I don't see any like 40K, 30K, 50K, any of that crap, right? I like to see the big boy numbers. So these are looking good. So I already like this market, right? So let's check the solds. Let's do 1 year. Same thing. A lot of sales, which is good. 83 homes, 83 parcels sold in the last year. Look at this. You got 21 acres. You got, doesn't say, tons of activity. Lots of activity. Definitely some demand, which is good to see. That's what you want. So I already know that this is a market I want to do, right? Very simple. So it's way easier to find a market, and you're going to have a better time finding a market on Land Insights, but you can do it for free. That's what I want to preface. You can do it for free. I just think it's better to do it. I think it's better to, just pay for a tool and just get it done and just work with Land Insights. Land Insights is fantastic. I've been using it since the beginning, since it first started. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do too, what I'm going to take now, I'm going to pull all my data right? We could break this down into zips. We could break it down into, whatever we want. What I'll do real quick before I go ahead and pull this, I want to do this. This is a good way to check your homogeneous, right? On Land Insights, we could just check. We go to person county right here. Oops. Scroll down. Let's go to person. Okay, so we got person county right here. Let's see what our Genie's going to be off because I have such a big range in here, but we could check what our Genie score is. We could check how much everything's going for. All right, so I had big disparities in pricing. I could see that already. I'm on 5 to 10s, and you can see like we have a 10 acre or something like that. Sold for $675. We got up here, sold for $80K. Down here, 141, 200. This is a subdivide. We got 79. We got 80. Actually, you know what? It's actually not that bad. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, it's not terrible. This 141 is kind of an outlier. I mean, it's kind of got some improvements. Beautiful, beautiful 4-bedroom. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's the reason why it's sold for more. 2 families. Yeah. Okay. So that's the reason why it's sold for more. It's a nice parcel. It's got some improvements on it. So you know what? We're gonna just go ahead and price this as if it's homogeneous, and then we'll take it from there. So here's 169 homes. I'm going back 2 years in my data too, just because I feel like it. No, because the last 2 years the land hasn't actually went up too much, which has been, it's kind of been staying the same. So that's that. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we're gonna go Google Sheet Create Share. Okay, so we're gonna go here. I'm gonna go File, Import, Upload, Browse, Upload. I'm just gonna upload all that data. Place current sheet. Okay. Go ahead and get rid of this. So I don't really care about. Well, I'm gonna just delete some stuff. So let's do this first. I'm gonna upsize everything so everybody can see a little bit better. We'll go 14. Widen my rows a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of this. I don't really care about this. I don't really need the address. Okay, so let's delete these two. Delete columns. Let's delete this row right here. Is not needed. Delete row. We're going to change this to acres. I'm going to change this to PPA, price per acre. So I'm going to take this one, move that here, and I'm going to go ahead and take off. Looks like this is a house. Square foot house, yeah, on a 34-acre lot. What did it sell for? Price 300K. Yeah, so it's an outlier. So I'm going to take that guy out, just because it's already got a structure on it. So we're going to take off all of this, delete all this. Source. I like to see. Let me just create a filter. Okay, source TS-MLS. So you can see all these are MLSs. So we could take a look at this and take off the data that's not MLS. We can leave it on, whatever we want to do. I think it's a good idea to take off the the non-MLS stuff. But you know what? Sometimes in the interest of data, it's okay to leave it on too. We should make sure there's no dupes. So we're going to call it currency. No, currency, data format, currency, number, currency. Okay. Alrighty then. Then we're going to take lot size. So I got to get acreage. So I take this, I do this, divided by 43,560. Do that. And then I'll take these, I'll drop this baby down. Okay, and then I'm going to do equals this divided by this. Okay. So now I got my price per acre. Okay, so pretty snazzy. Okay, so I got some low guys, some small guys. So we'll wipe those babies out. Let's delete you. All right, we got 511s. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways you could do this for pricing. You could go through, I have like formulas set up in some of my sheets. I'm not going to show you all that today. There's formulas you could set up in your sheets that basically pull all the data and you know, kind of go through it. I can already see right here, like I'm going to just comb through this real quick. Right here's dupe. The reason why I could tell it was a duplicate, same exact acreage size, sold for exactly the same price per acre. Like that does not happen. And one's an MLS, one's a non-MLS. So we're just going to delete them. 525, 528, 594. Right here. This is why half the time it's just easier just to delete your non-MLS stuff. You know what? I'm just going to do that because it looks like, let's see that. I'm just going to go ahead and wipe these. I have a feeling a lot of them are going to be dupes, so might as well just get rid of them. Okay, so A to Z. Now I got my A to Z. All right. So I'm just taking a quick peek, kind of what our data ranges are. So if I have enough data to support a couple of different rows, insert column left. Okay, so what I'm going to insert now is I want to do averages. Right? So mean, median, whatever you want to do. I'm going to take, you could do mean, median. The median value is like the middle of the number. You could take the average. You could do whatever you want. I know a lot of people ask, oh, why don't you use median or why don't you use whatever? They really get pretty much close to the same thing if you're removing data. So I don't really mind if I do average or if I do mean or median, whatever. So I'm going to just do median. So we'll go here. I'm going to just basically pull, let's just do 5 acres. I have enough data to do the 5 acres. And then we'll do, I have enough data to do 6. 7 equals median. I have enough data to do the 7s. You want at least like 4 or 5 parcels to be able to really do it like good. So we'll go 8 to 10, 8 to 9. Okay. We'll go 30. 44. Okay. $45. Okay, and then we'll go median. Now, just so everybody understands, like this is the exact way I've done this. I've built my business around doing this. I've trained other people how to do this. I've had other people that are doing their entire business like this that are making how much they're profiting 6 figures a month right now off of this. Like this exact way I'm showing you. There's like really no need. It's super easy. You could do this. Anybody could do this. Obviously there's 1,000 ways to do stuff. This is easy. You're looking at the real data from a single source that you could go through, hand select, and remove. There's obviously easier ways, but like sometimes taking the shortcut isn't always the best road, right? If you take the shortcuts for everything, you tend to make mistakes because now you're just trying to hit volume, hit numbers, things like that. You're going to really run into some heartaches when you do that. So I think going in here, learning a market by actually looking at the data is super important. Because then it kind of really, you start to understand why this market, they want, 100-acre parcels, why, all these things are like that. So, all right, so we can see right here, I got some outliers right here. I got a 6. Let's take a look at these. So if you use the mean, like you can pull out the outliers. I think this, let's just say, I want to see how fast it sold, April 10th, April 30th. So this makes me think it was priced. Something was wrong with this parcel, because if you look at the activity, the price change, something was wrong with it. That's what makes me think something's going on right here. So I'm gonna take that one out. Let's start, actually, before I take that one out, I'll take this one out because I already looked at it. But I want to start looking at this, right? And the reason, this is huge. I really want to start doing this because it's so important you understand the markets, the data, the things, right? What does this market want? How am I going to know what this market wants if I've never been there, worked there, or anything like that, right? It's by looking at the sold data. That's really what's going to tell me what the market wants. So we'll look at this. Road frontage, hardwood throughout, approved for a 4-bedroom permit, blah, blah, blah. So just right here, this is a huge, wow, holy shit. Okay, great. If I'm looking at the difference between making, selling a parcel for 77,000 or 9,000 an acre to 12,000 an acre, what am I going to do that, right? Look at these pictures. We have a improved, a road, put in, looks like a driveway, something like that. Property is nicely maintained. Yeah, you got a nice little driveway, cul-de-sac kind of thing coming up, all that stuff. And it's a nice parcel, right? It looks pretty good. This is your road. And then it comes out, and then you're one of these lots right here. It's this lot right here, okay? So it's a nice looking parcel. So it's almost, they did a subdivision right here, you can see. And they got their perk test approved, right? So neighbors quite a silly fish, blah, blah. Part owner, 25 Durham, RP. Road frontage, beautiful hardwoods throughout, 4-bedroom perk permit, boom. So you get a perk test done, and you have some decent improvements where the lot looks nice. You're going to sell for a higher price, 14,000 an acre, okay, or 12,000 an acre. So right there, that's good to know, right? Now I'm going to do this because I want to cut this out. I'm going to take this one out. I'm going to delete that. And the reason why is I don't want to price my whole market off of one piece of my data. So I want to look at a couple of the other ones and also see what they're kind of doing. I have a good feeling that a lot of these are in that same little subdivision. Yep. Like I said. So they commanded a higher price exactly for this 4-bedroom perk test, blah, blah, blah. So there's a reason why they sold for more. I'm willing to bet all these are the same. No, I was wrong on that one. Okay. So waterfront parcel, same thing. Nice parcel. So check this guy now too. Okay, it's got a little cabin on it. Not that that really does anything, but it shows it's got something. 1,000 feet, over 1,000 feet of public road frontage. Blah, blah, blah. And let's see how fast this baby sold. Dude, 3 days it went pending. Come on. That's fucking awesome. That's exactly what you want. This is a fucking great market. Okay, I'm going to leave my pricing there, about 10K an acre. It's in the middle of everything. You got 7s, you got 11s, you got 12s, you got 9s. I'm good with that, right? I think 10's good. Now let's check this one. So I got a 4K. I'm looking for my lows and my highs, really. The other stuff I'm not too worried about. Okay, so this is my low. We already looked at this one. So let me take this guy out. So 8,300. You want to kind of get like a good cadence down, like a good cascade down. So 10.4, you want like 10.2. So I want to look at like, am I too high here or am I too low here? So let me look at some of my other ones. Six acres, no restrictions, part of a judicial sale. Oh, okay. So that's like kind of like a it's an outlier. Okay. Looks wet, this parcel. Make 2 large lots. Okay. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to combine to 10. So, okay. So what I did is I combined it to 5 to 6. I combined them. So 9,200 right now. Super high outlier. We looked at this one before. So I'm just going to take that one out. I know it's a really nice lot, but it's got some really good improvements, and that's why it's a nice lot. Let's check out this 12K an acre. Why is this selling for 12K? Nice parcel in a developed area. I mean, simply put, you look at this, you got good road frontage. Yeah, you got power lines, but look, you got this nice wooded parcel in a developed area. That's a great parcel, honestly. Buildable, right in Broxborough. Yeah, obviously it's going to sell for a little more. So, no comments. Man, you guys are lacking today. I like when I could actually talk to you guys and have comments. Come on. It's like you don't love me anymore. What's going on? All right, skinny parcel. Nice pictures and stuff like that. They did a good job. That's probably why it sold so quickly. Let's see how fast it went. So listed active, went pending and pretty damn quick. Yo, what up, man? How you been? So went pending, but then it got relisted and then went pending again pretty much a month later. Nice parcel. That's interesting. It listed for 59 and sold for 95. What's up, Don? Yeah, no problem, man. I love doing these. I think I do like one every 2 months or something like that. Very interesting. This actually sold for more than the asking price. So they probably listed it super low. I like that they did all this stuff. I wish it wasn't as grainy. It's kind of a shitty picture. This looks cool. You know, that's a nice little feature they did. I wish they had more pictures of the actual parcel. But overall, not a bad property. Sold pretty quick. That's good. Okay, so that one's good. Okay, so this range is good. I mean, we're up a little bit higher. You know, sometimes I'll just do this equals median. We'll go from here to here. I just want to check something. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to delete that, and I'm just going to do this. Because it pretty much came into the same number. Okay, 92. Okay, that's good. So I'm going to do that. So I got a huge difference right there. So yeah, I'm basically just going to do this. I'm going to go down this line. I'm going to check out all these parcels. I want to see what they look like. Okay, we got a gate. We got something going on here. I don't know. What is this? Unfortunately, we don't have enough data to generate. Oh, that's fantastic. Hey, Dennis, not a pricing question, but what's your opinion of buying info lots with quitclaim deeds? I come across those selling. So, yeah, I mean, if you have a quitclaim deed, you just got to verify everything was good, and you just want to get it. You could like change the deed to like a warranty deed if you're buying it. It's not a bad idea. You could definitely do it. It's not the worst thing if you're getting it cheap enough. And you can sell to builders all day long. Quitclaim deeds aren't the worst thing. You just got to check your title. You know, check your title, make sure everything's good, run it through title. Don't buy anything like don't self-close anything essentially. All right. All right, so we're going to just go ahead and take this baby out. Seems like a kind of a dump property. All right, so this is point made to here. I'm just going to go down here, and I'm going to extend this down all the way down to 22. So as you go, like you kind of start seeing like yeah. So median is right there still. Okay. So I think we're good on that. It's probably more accurate if you do this manually, but eventually will you use you could absolutely use AI. And that's the whole thing. So right now on Land Insights, when you go into the data tool, it gives you the pricing of what every individual parcel is like worth, right? That's based on like a couple different comps and everything like that. However, their thing works. There's so many different ways to do this. I don't think it's a bad thing to get your hands dirty in the beginning when you're trying to figure this out, right? I honestly I still download the data from Land Insights with the pricing and everything like that. I'll still go through and manually do it. It does not take that long. Honestly, you could pull the data, overlay it on a market in like less than 30 minutes when you're quick at it. I'm slowing down a little bit just because I'm trying to talk through stuff with you guys. But if you're by yourself, pop in some headphones, put on some music, watch a TV show, whatever you want to do, and just freaking run through this. It'll take you like no time at all. Honestly, it's not that bad. Wow, gorgeous, gorgeous parcel. So the reason why this sold for more is just this is perfectly cleared pasture land, right? So this is ready to like build, ready to farm, whatever the stuff. Yeah. See, Land Insights doesn't remove off market seduce. That's a big thing too, because now you're taking, let's say you have a bad parcel or something like that. So this is one caveat I have to using like tools like an AI tool. Okay. It doesn't know like one thing from the next. It doesn't know if this was a good parcel, it was a bad parcel. It doesn't know if this was that or that, whatever. It doesn't remove all that stuff, right? So you could be pricing a parcel when the best comp was like 4 mile, right on the same street, but it was a completely shit parcel, different than what you have, right? So now you go ahead and price this parcel, or maybe 10 or 20 or 15 parcels that are in that small vicinity with that one bad comp. You send out those letters. Now 20 or 30 people got the bad pricing on their parcel, right? Well, let that happen 10, 12, 15 times. Now you have 2, 3, 4, 500 letters going out per mailer set that are mispriced, right? Because you're just trusting an AI comp tool, whatever the case may be. There's nothing wrong with coming in here and just saying, hey, what can I do to improve this? Why can't I just do this manually, right? There's so many other ways that AI shortens up your time and whatever. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing just to learn how to do this stuff manually and then do it manually for a little bit and figure it out. And then split test. Hey, let me try out, that thing versus this thing and see which one's better, right? I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, me personally, I like to look at the land. I like to see what's going on. What improvements on comps are people looking for? Like, I know for a fact, if I get pasture land like this, it's going to sell for $15K an acre, right? Would I know that just looking at a data set and saying like, whatever? No, I would have no clue, right? So I can see these right here. See how these three are probably all, track B, track C. Yeah, they're probably all the same exact. I'm going to delete these two. And the only reason why I'm deleting them is because I don't want to price my whole data set based on them, right? Not everything looks like that. What I'm mailing does not look like that at all. So I want to make sure I'm taking those out because that's not what my parcels are going to look like, right? Now, AI doesn't know that. AI has no clue that every other parcel doesn't look like that. It just looks at the numbers and it says, okay, this is what the price is going to be. But I could come in here and say, no, that's not what every parcel looks like. I know for a fact that's not what the parcels look like. Parcel good, no restrictions, 4-bedroom perk site. So here you go. This right here, we know if it has a 4-bedroom perk site, I'm going to sell for more, right? This says 13K an acre, right? So by doing that, I could take this off, right? I'm going to take you off just because I know it's the parcels I'm going to market to aren't perked, right? So why would I price everything based on that? Here's another one, 10-acre, 4-bedroom perk site. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of these perk sites. What it tells me, perk my stuff. Perk almost every one because that's what people want in this market. If you want to sell for a premium, right, you got to perk your properties. And if you perk them, you're good to go. Most other markets, I would not be perking. I would just go ahead. I would, do it only if I needed to. But like this is one that it's like you got to perk it. Okay. And I would have no clue, no idea doing that if I just let some comping tool tell me. 10 acres, what septic permit, boom, 3-bedroom house. So it's got another permit. So what I'm trying to do is get this down to like 9,300, 90, around the 9,200 range. I'm not trying to like do it just by doing it. I'm trying to see like, okay, so what improved properties can I remove to get my pricing where I need it to be? Gorgeous. Beautiful parcel. This is like ideal pictures right here. Look at that. Like how nice does that look? All right. I wish there were some aerial views. But like, man, just walking onto that parcel, you just feel like just at home. It's such a great picture. Private road, homestead, minimum horses allowed, boom, everything you want. It's all right there. I love it. Beautiful, beautiful piece. I'm going to take it off though. Why am I taking it off? Just because I don't want to price everything with that. So let's check this other high one. Okay, so this has a water feature. Any water feature properties are going to go for more, right? Site built, modular, 4-bedroom perk. Boom, look at that. You got to get it perked. Got to perk in this market. I would have never known that had I just blindly went into this, right? And just let a comp tool do it. Yet again, another water feature. This is the one. Welcome to the perfect place. Surround yourself in beauty. Approximately 10 acres. Oxford perk test and improvement permit. Done. See? Another one. And I'm going to guarantee, let's look at some of these ones that aren't. These probably don't have perk tests. Oh, okay. Oh, I see, I've already shot myself in the foot. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. That's a perk test. Plenty of room. So no perk tests over 7,300. This one, 10K. Let's see, 10K, perk test. This one right here. Does this have a perk test? Just 30 minutes, highly buildable, not within a flood zone, street water, separated. Okay, no perk test. Sold for less, 8,900 an acre. So anything that's sold has a perk test has been selling higher. 3-bedroom, August 23. Okay. Perfect canvas, your dream home. Okay. So, yeah, it's definitely worth perking in this market. Okay. So, 8,700. I already like this 8,700, so I don't really have to mess with that. I like the 8,600. I like the 8,400. Let's check this big one out. Why did this sell for so much more? Okay. Instantly remove. Delete. This 34K an acre. Why? Okay, the reason why this sold is they just did like subdivision back here, I guess, or something. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, okay, so they have it ready to go, like ready to like build on all these lots. Okay, so we're gonna knock that guy out. 7,500. So when I see something like that where I drop my pricing down, I'm gonna go ahead and pop off this. So lot one, they just did a little sub. Attention builders, manufacturing, 18 minutes, 1210. Okay, so it's already approved. Okay, so we got 8,500, 8,700. Okay, I'm good with that. 7,500, 10K. This looks like I might have to come up. I'm 55. 55, 11. I'm okay right there, actually. 52, 56. I'm high. Why did this sell for so much more? 107 acres. You got pasture land. You got some silos on it. All that stuff. There you go. That's your improvements right there. Let's just delete you. $8,700 improvements. Blah. Okay. Now, I know this market. I actually have done deals in this market, and I've done really good. I did a deal in this market where I bought for 140. I bought it for 145, and I sold it for 365. Yeah, I bought for 145. I sold it for 365. This exact market. It's a great market to work in. Honestly, I like it. I love the land out here. Like, if I were to just pick one market to work, it would be this one. I love Person County. It's gorgeous. Let's just see this one. What's up here? What am I looking at? Where's the actual? This is, yeah. All right, so that's pretty big. Improved parcels. Let's cut this. Let's paste this. Let's delete this. Sweet. Okay, so there we go. I got 92, 91, 92, 59, 93. Same, pretty much the same thing. 87 for that. 85, 75, 7,000. Okay, cool. I like that. Now let's go to Land Insights. Let's go here. Let's go to data. Let's go to map. I'm going to put in, let's go here. Person County, North Carolina. Okay, so I'm going to take in Person County. I'm going to go 5. We'll do 4 to no max. Let's go 5% improvement max. Actually, let's go 15%. Let's go 15%. What was this at? 5. Okay, didn't really change much. Keep only vacant land right here. So you keep only vacant land. Remove bad slope. Oh, wait, huh? What just happened? Offer too high. 5 would get for retail. He countered at 750. David saying he wants to sell over retail. Land Insights says remove off market. Yeah. All right. That's where I goofed. Okay. Remove landlocked. Okay. Remove HOA. Let's see if I keep the landlocked. Let me just see. 2475. So there's a, removing your landlocked, keeping your landlocked. Sometimes like this is the other thing where I scrub manually. So I used to scrub manually. I don't do it anymore. Used to scrub manually, and it's not that I don't want to. I still could. It's just like it's okay to. I actually already have all these parcels, but I already know which I've done Person County 1,000 times, so I know these areas already. So I could easily. I already know which ones are the good ones because I've categorized every single piece of land in North Carolina. So I can tell you exactly what everything is. But yeah, so here, like these, sometimes it's okay to leave these in. The one deal I did, the big deal, well, not the one deal, I've done a lot of deals. The big deal I did in Person County was a landlocked parcel. It would have been landlocked. Every filter would have removed it. So it's kind of like, man, maybe I don't want to remove them, right? Maybe there's good parcels that I'm missing. So I'm actually going to keep them in here. So let's go max floodlands coverage, 25%. I'm not going to put a minimum. I'm going to take out duplicate owners. Okay, see, look at that. Look how many I removed that. Analyzing a deal when it's already at the right buy price. Okay, yeah, I could do that. Yeah, actually, I have some leads I got to look at too, so I could do that. Out of state owner, out of county owner. Okay, so I want to take. You could take out like exclude corporate owners, so that drops off a lot. You could take out interfamily transfers. Let's check out. I like to have minimum ownership of at least. So let me do this. Let me show you guys this. If you guys haven't seen this thing that I got right here, seller avatar. Okay, so which I need more responses, so I don't know why I got to get more responses. Average owner, they've typically owned it for 5 to 10. So I want to go back here. When I go to pull my data, I want to look at this and I want to say 60 months minimum. So let's go 60. Let's go. Actually, let's think about this. We're 2015. So I want to make sure I'm buying parcels that were bought in 2019, right? So let's say 72 months. That puts me right back 2019, 6 years. So that puts me right there. Let's change that. Let's just check. I want to check 84 months. See where that puts me. 1,300 parcels. 72 months is good. Okay. And open lien. Skip tracing. Why don't we just skip trace it? You could do KMLs. You could do all that stuff. So get compensation what the property would sell for. Might as well. All right. Let's see if I have enough credits. Just now. Yeah, you could use the same list for cold calling, same list for texting, whatever you wanted. Doesn't matter. So what I do, like, I kind of do it in a back-ass way, but I mail everything. I'm a very simple guy. I like mail. It's so easy. I'm mailing it out. I don't have to worry about like keeping a lead warm for 6 months or anything like that. I like getting a call. I know it's priced right. I take the call. I talk to the seller. We're pretty close on price. And I say, okay, great. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and send you a contract. We'll start a due diligence once the contract's signed, and then we'll go from there. If everything goes great, we're going to close this thing in 60 days or less, right? Sometimes we close in 15 days, just depends. And it's just so much easier. I'm not dealing with stuff. So if I'm texting or cold calling, you're not going to get somebody off the rip that's like, hey, you're interested in selling your land? They're not going to be like, yeah, sure, I'll sell it to you today. There's no one call closes. I'm very simple. I don't have time to waste my time doing that. There's people that make a shit ton of money with texting, ton of money with cold calling, and that's fantastic. I love it. It's just not for me. That's just it. I'm simple. What can I say? So I don't necessarily want to do it, but I give, what I do too is I give people my data and they go ahead and they cold call it and I'll take a little chunk of a deal. So I've already priced everything. I've done everything. They just go ahead and call it, and when we get it, I just get a little piece of the deal. I'm fine with that. I do that all the time. Okay, so here we go. So this is our data, right? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go create filter. I'm going to go to format. I'm going to go ahead and freeze one row. Okay, so here we go. Calculated acreage, A to Z. Now, here's what I want to look at. I want to look at what their AI value is. Right here. Okay. So there's the AI values. I'm going to cut these. Cut. Where's my acres at? Okay, so I'm going to insert left, insert left, insert left, insert left. So I'm going to paste their data right here. Paste. Where the heck did it go? Come on, dummy. Okay, so there's the market values. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to do EPA. Price per acre. I'm going to do market price. I'm going to do my market price. And then I'm going to go ahead and do insert a column to the left. Offer, let's do 35%. Insert column to the left. Offer 65%. Okay. So I'm going to just do a quick thing real here. So I'm going to take my price. I'm going to grab this. And I'm going to go ahead and drop this here. What the heck? My copy and paste is really fighting me today. 92. Copy. Paste. Value on it. Okay. Let's go ahead and make everything a 13. Okay. Yeah, you could totally do the ChatGPT, but I have so much trust issues with ChatGPT and fucking me on so many things that I just stopped. I can't do it. Okay, so I'm going to take this times this. So I just threw this down the whole way. It's not exactly right, but here's what I'm going to do. Ready? So you ready for this? I'm going to take the calculated out. I don't trust the calculator in any ways, and it's just another column I don't need. I don't, whatever. So we'll go 10 acres. We'll go back here. What's my pricing on this? So 10 acres, I went to, and we could leave it. We could leave that. 11 acres, we dropped to 87.41. So I'm going to just feather this, right? So 11, I'm going to drop to, let's pull it midway. We'll take out the 01. So I'm going to just pull this down. Some right around here, I'm going to drop to like 87. What was this? 87.14.44. 14.44. So I'm just going to pull this down a ways, and then I'm going to drop it down like a little bit more. I'll drop this down like 85. There's no exact absolute science to this stuff, so it's just about getting some volume out there. 83. Okay, so when I hit 20s, when I hit 20 acres, I'm at 7,500 by the time I hit 20. All right, so I'm going to drop this down right around here. We'll just go to 75.43.22. Now, I'm making up some numbers here. I'm not going to be perfect. I'm just trying to feather this down. There is actually a formula you could do this. I'm not going to show you that today, but a formula to like cascade your numbers down. It works. It's fantastic. It does make this a hell of a lot easier. You could do that. Anybody could do anything. So we're going to drop to 70, 78, 70, 78. Our next drop is going to be 59 at 31. 59. Okay, so actually I was supposed to drop this to 59. 85. So let's go 64, 35. Drag that up a little bit. Okay, 59.85. We'll go to 50 with this. And then we go to 52 at 40. Oops. Now at 50, we drop down again, 50 to 50. All right. So basically, yeah, we're going to just keep cascading down. Essentially, that's pretty much all it is. I'm going to get down to 4,100. So we'll drop this down to 45, 30, 2 ways, and we'll drop it down to 4,100, like that. We'll throw random numbers in there. All right, when we get up to the hundreds, I want it to be in the hundreds. I want it to be at around 3,900. Just go right here, 3,904. Yep, that's pretty much all you're doing. It's super easy. Okay, so let's just compare our numbers to their numbers, right? So here's this guy. We got a 14 acre. I'm saying my price is 119. They're saying their price is 56. Right? Let's take this property. Let's comp it real quick. Imagine this is a lead that just came in. Okay, so location, APN, person county. Okay, so here's my parcel. Now, this is landlocked. Looks landlocked. Might not be. Got some trails coming through here. Bad example. Remember, I didn't remove landlocked properties here. Okay, so this one right here, it's got a road coming in it. So this does have something going on in it, right? It does say it's landlocked, but I don't think it actually is. Okay, so we got that. These are, my point being, I want to find a good one so I could actually show you. I'm going to mail these as landlocked parcels, you'll see. All right, so here's this. I'm going to take a local address. This is the reason why I'm going to take a local address. So I want to look at this right here. Okay, take the local address, click this. Nearby homes for sale. Sold. Last 2 years. Home type, land. Done. I want to see what land is sold right here. So you got one down the street for 26, 29, 130. 12-acre lot, 130, 185. So here's my problem. It's pulling all these smaller parcels, stacking them against it. And look at all these parcels around the area. So I price this. This is exactly why I do this manually. I price this at 119. Okay. That's what my market value is. So my offer price is going to be way less. I didn't do that yet. I can do that real quick, but okay. I priced this at 119. Land Insight said 5,600, 56,000. Why am I twice? Right? Why am I twice the price of them? Right? Well, what's happening is this. When I look at the data, when I look at the actual comps, right? I'm not looking at these 26s, 29s, because they're not comps to me. They're 1 acre parcels. That's not a comp. Okay. That's not going to do shit for me. What is a comp? This 130, this 185, this 170, this 144, this 98, all that stuff. So what's going to happen if I just throw out a $56K offer, a $30,000 offer, or less than that on this parcel? I'm going to get shit on, right? So that one right there, I'm good. Land Insights, bad. And a lot of these are like that. So this is why manual pricing, for me, it just works better. Like, it really does. Like, here's one there. I said 103, they said 107. And you know what? We're probably pretty close. There's a lot of these 42s and stuff like that. It's pulling data from all kinds of things, right? So I'm not going to trust the AI data. Like, it just, to me, is not worth it. The extra, I started doing this when I was at 39 minutes in the video, and I priced it already, and I'm at an hour. So it took me an extra 20 minutes to stack my data and do that. Now here's my offer prices. So I'm going to send a range offer equals market price this times 0.35 and equals this times 0.65. So these two, those are my market price. Those are my offer prices right here. So I'm going to offer, hey, I'm going to be able to pay you between 13 and 24,000. I'm actually not going to be mailing anything that has a market value less than like 75,000. So like pretty much here. I'll probably do 5 acres and above, just because if I get one that buy it at 17, I'd still sell for 50. But yeah, this is the way I do it. I don't care. I'm gonna do this forever. Yeah, there's always gonna be better tools that make it quicker, but at the end of the day, like, am I actually making it quicker? Or am I gonna make more headaches for myself? Yeah, some are close, but a lot of them aren't. You know, it took me an hour, not even, to price a data set of 1,300. In this data set, there's probably at least one deal, right? I'll get 4 or 5 calls out of it. I'll get one deal out of it, and then boom, I made money. Now here's the big things, right? I priced this at 301. They priced it at 221. Who's better? Let's just check. So this looks landlocked, but it probably is not. See, it's not landlocked right here. See, right here, landlocked. Okay. What's this road right here? You see that? That's your access road. That cuts right through here. Okay. It's not landlocked. This parcel is not landlocked. Let's take this. Let's go filters. $445. One sold for 47 acres, 445. Got 750, 240. So I'm already looking at this like I'm in a better spot. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That is the data. That's how you do it. That's how you price. Person County. That's how I price it. That's how I'm going to go through this and do that. Like, it's actually not that hard. It took me an hour to price 1,300 parcels. I'll probably rip at least 1 or 2 deals out of this. No doubt. Absolutely. Hour of your time, sit down, have a beer, and just freaking do it. Why not? It's so like numbers driven. And then I'm still gonna probably spend about 15-20 minutes just going through. I'm gonna pre-comp a couple of these deals. And then that's it. Did you learn how to do this by joining LIA? Yes, I did. In a way, yes, I did learn how to do this by joining LIA, but I also taught myself. So Sumner and I did the 90-day Zero to Hero, where we kind of went over all this stuff, and he hand taught me a bunch of shit. This is before Land Insights existed, so I did everything manually. I'm just one that still does everything manually. I like it manual. I think it's a better process. There's certain things that AR are fantastic for, but there's a lot of things that manual is just the way to go. It really is. So everybody has their own opinions, and you know what? There's people that have much bigger businesses than I do, and they're crushing it and absolutely doing fantastic, but everybody's different. So, all right, guys, I'll see you later. I got to get the kids. Have a good one.